What's up everybody, it's Gorilla Viking here, and today I'm going to be showing you how to go from amateur level with basically no knowledge of Phasmophobia to slowly building yourself up to intermediate to professional and eventually working yourself towards Apocalypse Gold level. This is the first part of a multi-part series and I hope you enjoy.
So guys, first things first, we're going to start off on Tanglewood. It's my favorite map. It's the easiest map. It's probably given me a false sense of confidence because I play it so much and I start to feel like I'm kind of getting this, you know what I mean? I'm pretty confident on Tanglewood. The rest of the maps, they're pretty tough. Some of them can be very hard, especially the bigger maps. But this is definitely the best one to start off on, to give you that sense of confidence, to give you that sense of, I'm starting to figure this out. So, Tanglewood Drive on Amateur. Let me start off with this, okay? First thing you want to do is just get familiar with the truck. What's going on inside the truck? Like, what is this place? Because this is one of the most important parts of this game. So first of all, we can see here to the right of the truck, it shows the name of the person who we are investigating. The person who died, the ghost, the poor person, which is Marcia Gacy in this case. So you see case 919. I think that's a random number. I think it's completely randomized, unless maybe this is my 919 case. I don't know, actually. Just the first time I ever took notice of this. So Marcia Gacy is the name of the person we're investigating. So, response to people who are alone. This means that when you're using the spirit box, you need to be on your own in a room with the light off. Spirit box is like it's like a communication radio that you can speak to the ghost with. Some ghosts will require that you are by yourself for that to work. And in this case, Marcia is one of those shy ghosts. Doesn't want anyone else around. Maybe I might be a shy ghost someday. I hope I don't find out for a long time. But who knows, okay? So that's just important to remember for a bit later on in the game when you do use Spirit Box. So down here you have the challenges. And here is where all of our photos, when you unlock the photo camera, this is where they'll all be stuck. So you can see here each slot available for the photos. Down here are the challenges that can give us more XP, more money, gets us leveled up quicker, and gets us moving past the tier 1 equipment and get some better gear, alright? It just gives us a slight little edge on how much money we make. Not really even a slight edge, it can give you a pretty good edge. But for the moment, don't worry about it. Do it if you can, but don't worry about it. Some of this equipment here you won't even have. So for example, to prevent the ghost from hunting with a crucifix, we don't have a crucifix, we can't do that. Get a ghost to blow out a firelight, we don't have a firelight, how are we supposed to do that? Have a member of your team escape the ghost during a hunt? You can do that. You can do that. Without instance and without some awareness of how to loop ghosts, it can be pretty difficult. But guys, I believe in you. I believe in you. You can do this, all right? Any member of the Gorilla Viking clan can do this. It's just about self-belief. We can do it. So that's just a basic run through of the main board in the van and what it can provide to you, okay? But don't focus on that too much for now. Just focus on having fun. The main objective of this game is identifying the ghost, and that's all we need to do. Everything else is icing on the cake. It's a cherry on top of the cake. Whatever way you want to put it, whatever comparison you want to make, use it. So here we have a map of Tanglewood. So this will let us know where the power is, which is very useful, especially when you're new to the game. You might not know where the power is. Now on amateur, the power is set to on by default, and the reason the power is so important is that it allows us to take accurate temperatures inside the house. The way I always describe it with my friends is that it's like turning on the heating in a house. If the heating is turned off and if the power is turned off, you're not going to get stable temperatures. So the ghost will always be in the coldest room. That's something that's very important to remember. The coldest room will always be the ghost room. But if you have the heating off and the temperature is going up and down, it's very hard to identify exactly where that ghost room is because every room is going to be kind of cold. So here you can see there's the top floor, the main floor, should I say, of Tanglewood. And if we click down, you will see that the power is in the basement. Of course, the power is in the basement. Every horror trope there's ever been has led to the power being in the basement. There's always a reason to go to the basement, and this is our reason. We need that power. But thankfully, on amateur, the power is already on. We don't need to worry about it, okay? So it's all good. So here we have the team sanity, which is also very important. The sanity dictates when you will be hunted by the ghost. Different ghosts will have different parameters and different limits on when they will hunt. So, for example, the demon will hunt quite high, very high, the highest of any ghost. So when you start going down around 75% to 100 even, you can get an immediate hunt from a demon. So just keep that in mind, that if you're messing around inside there, you have the 5-minute timer on amateur, you're pretty safe. But outside that 5 minutes, you could get unlucky, bump into a demon. Doesn't happen very often. But each ghost will have their own thresholds of when they will hunt. Some ghosts will be 50, some ghosts will be 25. So, you know, you just need to be aware of that. But you learn that in time. So take your time. There's no need to worry about that right now. Next, we have the sound sensors. So sound sensors, I actually don't use them. I very rarely use them. It's a very niche scenario when I decide, okay, I need to use a sound sensor. It just doesn't happen very often. But there is a case for it, but we'll come back to that eventually. Here we have the total activity. This shows you the total amount of activity in the house at any one time. So that will measure hunts, it will measure when you're not in the house, and vice versa. It will always keep track of whatever amount of activity is going on in the house. That could be the ghost throwing a book, the ghost throwing I don't know, a lamp, a photo, whatever it can be. It can be whatever goes on inside that house. So, guys, here's our tier 1 equipment, all right? Now, it's not fancy, it's not glistening, it's not shiny, but it's functional. It's all we need, okay, to identify every single ghost in this game. And I will show you what we got here. First of all, we have an EMF reader, which measures electromagnetic fields. I think that's what it stands for. EMF reader, basically, if the ghost throws something or interacts with something, it leaves off a reading, which we can measure. Here we have a thermometer. Again, all tier 1, very basic equipment. The level 1 thermometer is like a mercury thermometer. I'm sure you've all seen them in school, or, you know, we don't get mercury thermometers anymore because they're quite dangerous, but we still have them in Phasmophobia, so the nostalgia can live on. So here we have the spirit box, we have UV light, we have a torch, we have a ghostwriting book, we have dots, and a video camera. Now, first thing I would say to you is to open your journal, okay? Go to evidence, because you'll have different categories here you can select. But go to evidence, okay, and get familiarity with what kind of evidence you can get, and figure out how this works. So, for example, if we go into the house and we get EMF level 5, we can think to ourselves, okay, let me click that off. Now, that has narrowed down our ghost selection, okay, by a lot. So then we can slowly start narrowing off and cutting off different ghosts from the list that we know it can't be. So let's just say we get ultraviolet as well. So now we're left with 4 different ghosts left. Okay, and finally, if we click on ghostwriting, now we have 1 ghost. So each ghost will have a unique combination of 3 different types of evidence. It doesn't mean that the evidence can't overlap. It will. Like, more than 1 ghost can have ghostwriting, but it's the combination of the 3 that will seal the deal on what ghost you have in the house. Okay, and that is the main goal of this game. So when we're going in, we're using the different equipment to identify these evidence and cross them off one by one. So, first of all, I would always suggest going in with a video camera, a thermometer, and an EMF reader. So, the reason being, okay, a video camera you can use to find ghost orbs. If you find ghost orbs, for example, you have narrowed off a lot of different ghosts, and you can find it. You can find ghost orbs just by walking around, just by trying to find out what the ghost room is. Your first objective really is to find out where the ghost room is so you can start finding evidence. That's the most important thing. And always remember, the ghost room will be the coldest room. Providing everything is on with the power and you have good heating and everything else is hunky-dory, the ghost room will always be the coldest room. But always remember this too, is that the ghost orb will always be in the ghost room. It won't be in some random room in the house. It will always be in the ghost room. So that's a handy one to remember. So that's why I'm bringing a video camera straight off the bat. So we grab the keys, we go in. I'm bringing a thermometer to find out what's the coldest room in the house. And I'm also bringing an EMF reader, and you make sure it's on, because it's a big waste of time when you figure out that it hasn't been on this whole time. We're bringing an EMF reader to see where activity is taking place, okay? So, let's go in. We'll turn on some lights, mainly for you guys because, okay, straight away here, guys, we got a reaction, okay? Now, that's the car alarm going off. You can take the keys here for the car alarm, okay? Because that is quite annoying. After a while, that gets... Oh, shit! Okay. Okay, that wasn't nice. That was just not nice. I'm here streaming for the first time on YouTube. Immediately, a child attacks me. Okay, so we got EMF 5. That's pretty obvious. So we go here, click off EMF 5. Okay, and turn off this car. It's so annoying every single time. So here I'm just going to go around, and it's important to have night vision on your video camera. So here you just toggle it. For me on PlayStation it's X, so I'm just toggling it, looking around for ghost orbs. You will see this small little ball. It looks like just a ball of light flying through the air, and that is enough to say, okay, I have ghost orbs in this house. And it's always better when you have the light off, I find, to find these orbs, because otherwise it can be quite tricky. Now, it might be hard to hear, but the humming in the house just went away, which means the power is off. Okay, so you can see here the power has been turned off. Now, we identified earlier, so sadly, the power is in the basement. So I walk down to the basement, I open the panel, turn on the electricity, and now we're good to go again. So now we straight away got EMF 5. We're going to go around the rest of the house trying to find more evidence. Okay, now at the moment I don't seem to find any orbs. Now here's another point that needs to be made, is that the ghost teleported to me a minute ago. Yeah, you saw the little kid, this creepy little freak crawling along the ground. That does not mean that's where the ghost room is. A ghost can teleport to you. What we saw there was a ghost event. That wasn't a hunt. The ghost could not hurt me there. It was a ghost event. It's something that's done to drain your sanity so that the ghost can eventually hunt. So it's a precursor to a hunt in many ways. So I'm looking around here, guys. I can't see any orbs, not at the moment. Doesn't seem to be much at all going on. Okay, so this is important. At the moment, we don't have a camera, okay? But if we did have a camera, the first thing we'd be doing here is taking a picture of this bone. So this is a piece of, it's like extra points you can get in a match to find the bone. Take a picture of it so that you can add it to your collection of pictures up here. It will automatically go in there. And then pick it up to get some extra points. So here we're just going to pick it up by pressing square on PlayStation. And guys, I can tell you straight off the bat, the ghost room is the garage, because it just doesn't happen like this that it's going off that often. All right, when you notice that activity is happening in one room repeatedly, you have a fair idea. Okay, it's that room. It's that room. Unless there's somebody in that room and it could be a ghost just trying to intimidate them or lower their sanity or whatever. But no, it's this room. So, alright guys, just to give you an example now. You will see here the electricity is on. The temperature is around 14 degrees, okay, in this room. Now, when I walk into the garage, it should drop immediately, okay? You can see it drop from below 15 down to 14, going down to 13. So what you're looking for here is a gradual decrease. Well, quick would be better, but normally you get a gradual decrease on the tier 1 thermometer and the temperature. So we know this is the room, okay? Another indicator is that you will start seeing your breath. So far we don't really have much. All we have is an EMF reading, but this will take some time to get to the lowest temperature, to get to 0, if it even does reach 0. It might not be a ghost that has that kind of evidence. So we got to keep all these things in mind. Now, EMF reader, we already got that. What I'm going to do is, while I'm going back to the van, let me turn off that car, guys. I'm sorry I made you suffer through that whole time. So you could just see I saw my breath. Yeah, right there in front of me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up a camera. Doesn't really matter where you set it up. I like to set it up somewhere here in this room. Okay, that's terrifying. So I'm going to set up the camera like that. Just ignore this little chap. Jesus Christ, that's nasty. So yeah, I'm going to go back to the van now to get more equipment, okay? Because the video camera is one thing. We can't really pick up much off the video camera because I've kind of established in my own mind there is no orbs. We can see no orbs. If you go around a room that you're 100% sure is the ghost room, and we are 100% sure because the temperature is dropping, we're getting a lot of interactions, a lot of things in there, I'm not including the ghost events because I know obviously that doesn't count. But still, we know it's the ghost room. Temperature's dropping. The car alarm's going off for a few minutes. We have a strong idea that that's the ghost room. So we go back in with the extra equipment we have. Now, let me just explain this to you with the ghostwriting book. The ghostwriting book will only, it takes some time to get an interaction with this. Because as you can see here, you might be able to see on the screen, there's a radius around it. This is the radius where the ghost can interact with the ghostwriting book. It doesn't mean that when it steps inside that radius, it instantly reacts to the ghostwriting book. It just means it has the potential to do so. So it interacts with this just like anything else in their environment, and it will start writing on the book. It's a nice one to get, but it can be kind of tricky to get. It can take some time to get this. So now that I have everything in, I'm going to go out for one last run to the truck. Okay, actually, I'm going to go back, and I'll explain to you why. So I just heard it open a locker. So I'm going to get my UV torch, and I'm going to check, and there we go. So anytime you hear a lock or a door being opened, guys, go back with your UV torch to check for UV. So here we have perfect example of UV. So I can mark that off on my list. I have a gin, a goria, an obake, or a myling. Okay, so that's what we're left with, guys. So already 2 pieces of evidence in the space of a few minutes, really. And you know what? While I'm in here, I will check out the spirit box. So, okay, so it's interacting over here. So I'm going to try spirit box, all right? So where are you? Are you friendly? How old are you? Are you here? Are you friendly? Where are you? How old are you? Are you friendly? How old are you? Okay. Terrifying. How old are you? Are you friendly? Where are you? Okay, so I'm getting nothing here, right? So I'm going to go back to the van, back to the truck, and I'm going to get my dots projector. That's an important one. So here at the moment, it's hard to know what it could be. It could still reach freezing temperature for our third piece of evidence, but let's just get the dots because that's one that takes a while to rule out. So let me just show you how dots works. Basically, dots will create on tier 1 a kind of a grid pattern, okay? Now, one thing that's really important to remember with this, guys, as you can see, here's the dots, okay? Just because a ghost walks past that grid does not mean they will appear. They need to go into a thing called a dot state, okay? Which will not happen every single time. The ghost needs to decide to interact with the dots. It's not a case of just walking past. I see a lot of people online, they set up a motion sensor. The ghost walks past the motion sensor, which just so happens to have the dots aiming at it, and they're like, okay, we can rule out dots. No, that's not how it works. You need to actually let the ghost interact with the dots. So hopefully we can get a good example here of dots. My girlfriend, it's so funny. My girlfriend just doesn't believe that dots work because she's never seen proof of them ever working once, which is so... It's crazy because I've played a lot of this game around her and she's never once seen dots happen. So I feel like I'm lying at this point. So what we do want to do here is we want to set up the dots in such a way that it's, you know, it has a fairly good range on what you can see, and I think that's a pretty good example of it. So we check here, 2.5 degrees. So it's still not freezing. Doesn't mean you can't reach it, but it's taking its time. It's taking its time. So now I'm going to set up a camera here so that we can leave the room and check for dots. Because that just makes our life a lot easier. You don't want to be waiting inside draining our sanity when there's no need to. So here, guys, you can turn on and off night vision on the computer so you can have a look. So now, guys, this is the boring part. This is the part where I edit it. because you don't want to be waiting all this time. But he just he's just throwing around the camera like Steven Spielberg. So sometimes it can be thrown in a certain way that you can't see anything anymore. But in this case, we can still see some stuff, so it's not that bad. Could be a lot worse. But you can always go in and readjust it if you like, which is probably what I'm going to do, and I'll just edit it out. Are you here? Are you friendly? Okay guys, this is just one thing to mention. This is more advanced, but a mayor will always want to be in the dark, okay? So, we don't have a mayor as one of our options here, but just something to remember. If a ghost turns on the light, you can immediately rule out a mayor. A mayor will never turn on a light switch. It will be more likely to turn it off. So we can rule that out straight away. We'll do videos on this down the road, guys. At the moment, this is just the bare basics, okay? So, but sometimes it's just nice to mention these things, so, you know, you build towards it. So guys, we're near enough to freezing here. We're very close. And we're getting a lot of ghost events, like a lot. This is quite a lot of events. Okay, he's not very nice. He's really, really upsetting me here. Oh god, oh god. Okay, so guys, this is a hunt. Okay, guys, so I couldn't actually talk there because I was in game chat and I knew that if I actually talked over that, I would get killed. Straight away, guys, from this, I think it's a myling, okay? Now, I could be wrong, but again, this is a bit more advanced. We still don't have the evidence, but a myling will always be quiet when they're hunting. It's very hard to hear them. So, we go here to myling. We need ghostwriting, okay? So let's just check. No ghostwriting yet. But it seems to be like in this corner where most of the activity is happening. But I've never, like, there's a lot of activity here. Alright guys, so there's another hunt over, okay, and we can tell straight away from this that this is a myling, because it's exceptionally quiet. Like when you get a ghost that is very hard to hear, you can kind of start edging towards myling. Okay guys, so when I was inside the other room, oh shit. 1 second guys, I can't talk. Sorry about that guys, I was so rudely interrupted by that ghost, but basically when I was out hiding from the last hunt, I just heard the scribbling, and yes, we have ghostwriting. Because now guys, I'm not going to lie, that took a long time. So that can take a long time. So you can't really rule out anything until you're absolutely sure, especially dots and ghostwriting, because they take the longest of all of the things really. But again, I was confirmed, I was right. It was a myling. So at the beginning, I'll show you a couple of examples of that a bit later on in different videos. But a myling is one of the quieter ghosts. And if you come here to the ghost descriptions, if you click on myling, you will see here they're rumored to be quiet when hunting their prey. Okay, so I knew that just based off experience, but the first time I played this game, I had no idea to listen out for those little cues. Every ghost was the same for me, apart from their evidence. That was all that I could use to differentiate each ghost. And you know what? That's all you need to be able to do for the moment. Just focus on getting familiar with evidence, getting familiar with how to get the evidence, and just building towards that. But along the way in these videos, I'll give you some small little tips and insights into the ways that I can identify ghosts without any evidence. Okay, so guys, I hope this helps you, and I'm going to keep bringing out more videos like this. Please give me some feedback. All right, anything you guys need or anything you're confused of, please just tell me. And even if you can help me improve to be a YouTuber, because I love this, guys. I'm really enjoying this. I'm really enjoying the game, and I want to make a run at this. You know, and have some fun with you guys. And yeah, what more can I say, guys? Well, I guess I might as well show you the proof that it is a myling, just in case I'm a snake oil salesman. Oh, this would be kind of awkward. Well, it's like this. If it's not a myling, I'm just not going to upload this on YouTube. It'd be a terrible start to my new channel, but I'm pretty confident. So yeah, guys, it's a myling. The YouTube channel lives another day. Guys, please comment, rate, subscribe, give me any advice or any video ideas that you would like, alright? And if you like this video and you like the content in this video, just give a little whoop whoop and subscribe. Thank you so much. Gorilla Viking out.